All right, welcome back. Live at Drew's house, another edition. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you all had a good 4th of July and all that stuff. Um, that was fun. Now what do we do? Sarah Conway, how are you?
I'm doing good, Drew. How are you?
Doing good. Just took a drive through town. I was noticing a lot of the outside restaurants and outdoor seating seem to be doing okay. Nobody's like really packed, which I thought was
good thing.
Yeah, you're probably right. I do think.
Yeah.
Remember what Boston Mayor Marty Walsh told us when he was on? Remember what he said?
He said a lot of things, but specifically about the restaurants.
Yes. Yeah, about that.
He said that businesses can open up, but that doesn't mean people are going to be ready to go out there.
Very good. He said that is the key. He goes, businesses can open up all they want, but if people do not feel safe going there, it's not going to happen. It's not going to work for anyone.
Yeah.
So I think we're seeing a little bit of that here. I don't know how the businesses are doing. Hopefully the restaurants are doing okay. I mean, we'll go out. We haven't really, maybe once. We did an outdoor seating thing.
Yeah, we did once.
I don't know. We're not making a habit of it, certainly.
No, I mean, maybe we should go to some of the local restaurants. We're doing takeout, so I don't see that it's like that much different if the tables and stuff are far enough apart. And
we do a lot of takeout. Yeah. I've kind of been doing that the whole time. Yeah, but I don't know. Hopefully the restaurants are doing okay. The live music's starting to come back. We've had some great shows over the last few days. How about this? Like the week surrounding the 4th of July, pretty good guests. So we had Megan Duggan, U.S. Olympic hockey captain. That's pretty cool.
Really cool.
Jeff Coffin, the Dave Matthews Band saxophonist.
He was awesome.
And Charlie Carozzo, the man who's done 100 shows night after night.
Yeah, crazy.
Actually, if I remember correctly, Charlie once told me a story. This didn't come up in our show. It's just now hitting me, which is funny. I think I'm right on this, where he told me that Charlie said he, like way back in the day, one of his old bands, I think, he had a chance to open for Dave Matthews. And long story short, it was like the Dave Matthews Band then just exploded, and whatever venue they were playing became too big for the Dave Matthews Band. He goes, that was always my brush with those guys, Charlie used to tell me. So that's funny.
Missed opportunity.
Well, what are you going to do? He's still open for some other band replaced the Dave Matthews Band at that venue. And they became kind of a huge band too. But I just remember that story. I don't know. What do you got there?
It's kind of weird in the background. It's rhubarb.
It's what?
Rhubarb. It's a vegetable.
Who's rhubarb? Oh, it's a vegetable. I love my vegetables. On that note, we have a guy who runs a gym today. How do you run a gym through a pandemic like this?
No, it's a tough one. I don't know.
James Baker is his name. I actually don't know James. I do know James's wife. I went to college with James's wife, Charlene. So we're going to bring, I think it's just going to be James. Maybe Charlene will join. I'm not sure. But James is like, he runs all these fitness programs and everything right down, we're in Danvers, right down the street here off 114. And I'm kind of curious what it's been like to do the whole gym thing through this pandemic. I'm sure not fun because, well, gyms have been closed.
Right. Yeah, it's got to be a tough business right now.
It's got to be like I can imagine going in and like socially distanced biking. Like, I don't know, I guess you could do that. But like I used to go to the Beverly Athletic Club to play basketball, and like, I don't know, it's gonna be a little while to come back, don't you think?
Yeah, basketball is definitely not going to come back for a while.
Especially the way I play, a lot of physicality down low.
Yeah. Okay.
I should stop this now. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious to, that guy out in Western Mass has been opening up against Governor Baker's orders and been getting fined on a daily basis for like a month. That's not a great situation. I think they shut off his water, if I remember correctly. But it's just, the gyms are tough. And I think the next phase, or the end of the next phase, they can start to open. So let's do that right now. We'll talk about that with James Baker. All right. So my guest today is James Baker. He is the founder of North Shore Performance Training here, right down the street from me. I'm right near you guys. I'm over here on that side of town in Danvers, and you have a very popular spot over there, James. Nice to meet you. How are you?
Nice to meet you too. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, the one question I guess you got to ask right off the bat, gyms through a pandemic, I can imagine, well, we all know that's been one of the harder hit businesses, and just what's it been like through this all?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly been a challenge. I wouldn't say we necessarily hit rock bottom. There was a lot of, Zoom workouts I was doing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's necessarily my specialty, but, doing Zoom workouts, keeping the adult program that we have, going, keeping them moving, doing, fun, creative things at home, using, creative weight or body weight, just to keep people, keep the endorphins going, keep people happy and moving and upbeat through some pretty serious times. But, so that was good. And from an athlete standpoint, there's a lot of athletes I was working with one-on-one, that were still, paying members, reaching out, about, programming. How can I do some of these things at home, and get creative with weight, or if you don't have all the right equipment or exercise, setting around you, how we can, keep moving and stay healthy. So, definitely, stayed busy and kept people moving and healthy and the best that we could.
I want to talk about some of those Zoom videos too in a moment, because I watched some of those and you guys were definitely getting creative. And I know you got a couple little ones around there too, which makes life even more difficult. So we'll talk about that in a second. But
Sure.
you did also mention, not quite rock bottom. I do wonder, I feel like a lot of these gyms, especially around the country, I mean, a lot of the gym owners were the ones that were really pushing their governors and you need to open up. We need to open up. We can't survive. I mean, I can imagine this would be a pretty stressful time.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was. I was definitely staying tuned to Governor Baker and whatever he had to say during his big pressers. And one thing about a gym like North Shore Performance Training, or even Mike Boyle or Eric Cressy, people of that sort. We do a lot of we have a personalized approach. We're not necessarily a corporate gym or commercial gym where people will just come in, check in, scan a card, and just people wander about a gym and do workouts on their own. It's more of a structured environment where our athletes, or even in our adult program or youth program, they're coming in and things are structured and they have a workout that they're gonna get done that day, and there's coaches on the floor and they're making sure that the exercises are done right with good form. But also just, keeping people safe in that environment. And, there's definitely a personal approach there, where a coach like myself or some of my awesome staff members, we feel like we could, possibly keep people distanced, or even, use super limited equipment and hose it down afterwards with, disinfectant sprays and certain things that you just started to question a little bit, not the governor necessarily, but just,
Common sense.
Lumped in with the commercial and the big gyms. It's a little bit different when you have coached classes and performance and small group activities going on.
Yeah, that must be frustrating if you know that you can pull something off and being hands tied, not being able to do that. I can imagine that being frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, you're constantly finding. I'm a solution guy. I'm a creative guy. Like brain's always going, and you feel like you could have a solution. And it's not trying to. The thing about it is there is no solution with this pandemic, right? So but you're just always trying to find a way, like how could you make it work?
Yeah.
And just keeping up with the news and the seriousness of all this, and obviously, some of it has to take its course during the height of things, and things should be shut down, but. As things were starting to open up, you start to get, creative and really try to think of ways and find ways to make it work when you get your shot. So.
And, you mentioned that your gym's a little bit different than others. So I get the feeling that every gym probably has its own unique characteristics. I'm curious how you feel about there was that one gym owner out of Western Mass who was staying open, defying the orders and getting fined, and I think then they turned his water off, and there's another I think one gym, it might even be several, but are now suing the governor. I'm just wondering about how you feel about those approaches of kind of taking that anger to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, I think he had his 24 hours of fame, and I think he's probably paying the price now. But
yeah,
I mean, I feel his frustration. I mean, I feel all the voices out there, especially for the small gyms that they have personal training or performance coaches, like I was saying, that could help, facilitate a healthy environment, and also just, do our job and promote healthy exercise and make sure people are doing things right.
Yeah.
So I feel their pain, and I'm, kind of in a unique situation where, actually in January, I merged with the entire building. So New England Premier Sportsplex. So, it's still North Shore Performance Training, but, it was a unique situation where I, had a few options and where I could take this business to the next level. And the best option was to stay put and merge with the business next door. So in a way, timing was everything there. That was before any pandemic, there was even talk of that. So, I kind of fell under the umbrella there. I'm close with the owner and manager of that business, and he's actually the owner of the building, too. So in terms of me having to stress about rent and overheads and things like that, that was something that was actually figured out, long before the pandemic. So I actually lucked out there. But to your point, for people that have to worry about rent and overheads and certain things and payments due on this date, and people not necessarily coming in or stopping memberships, right?
Yeah.
I feel their pain, for sure.
Absolutely. Again, James Baker joining us here, the founder of North Shore Performance Training here on the North Shore. I wonder, when you think about getting back, I play basketball up in Beverly, and I think that's primarily what I use the gym for. Other stuff too. I mean, I could think parts of the gym might come back faster than others. Like, I think basketball, for instance, may be one of the last things at a gym to come back, because you're bumping into people and, sweating and all that stuff. But maybe, like, if you're riding a bike, maybe you can do that in a gym, and maybe you can run on the treadmill if things are spaced out a little bit. Walk me through, like, the actual logistics of the gym and what you think can and can't work.
So I kind of fall into a unique category where I have a lot of youth sports, so there's youth sports, practice guidelines, and, there's games that I guess that's getting pushed back a little bit more, but we've actually started to, put some things together for, just like the youth sports, performance and how we could make that work. But spacing, in the gym floor, so putting X's, in certain spaces, making basically cubes, areas that athletes could do, light, performance work in. And it's not, line up at the squat rack and, have 3 athletes or something at the same station. It's what we'll have to do is it's going to, monitor attendance. Everyone's going to have to sign up. So no excuses there. We, wouldn't be able to go past a certain amount of people, just because of the size of our facility. So that's one thing, would be attendance, but also social distancing. Everyone's going to have essentially a space that they get their work done in, and, coaches monitor the workout that way. So instead of, athletes, high-fiving and slapping butt and doing whatever else they do, in that setting that we have, in that style that we have, it's going to have to be more controlled. It's eliminating the water bubbler. Like, everyone's going to have to bring their own thermos, their own gallon of water, bring it from home, eliminate that common area. The equipment that would be used. So you say, hey, Drew, you're going to be in our station, you're in our athlete class. Okay, when you go to your station, you're going to bring a hurdle, a cone, a green band, and a medium-sized dumbbell. And that's what you're bringing to your station that day. That's what you're going to work with. At the end, you wipe it down, disinfectant. We oversee that. Coaches would disinfect common areas, doorknobs, all those things. Obviously, making sure people are keeping their distance.
It's a million little things you'd never think of.
Right. And again, I'm a detailed guy. So, like, these are things that it keeps you up, at night, and you think about making that list and putting it together. And so when you are going to execute and put it together, it needs to be, flawless, and you need to, deliver, and make sure that
I know you say that as just an expression, but I bet there is like probably some sleepless nights trying to think about, all right, what do we do? How do we figure this out? Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just, it's structure. It's a new norm. It's a new routine that you have to deliver to your clients and make sure that, they're on board, they feel safe, and that you're going to provide a safe and accommodating environment.
Now, I have actually never met James before. I do know his wife, Charlene, I went to school with, and that's actually how I stumbled upon one of your Facebook videos that you guys did,
Sure.
Which got my attention.
Sure.
And I thought it would be a good story down the road. You guys really did. And hello, Charlene, by the way, if you're around.
Oh, yeah, she says hello.
Yeah. Oh, very good. But that was one of the things that got my attention was you said, all right, we have to be home. Let's see what we can do from home. And literally in your living room, you two were demonstrating drills to do, or drills might be the wrong word, but routine training. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who came up with that idea?
Well, again, it's just, try to find a way. It's either adapt or die. And, we have a pretty, I call it the fan base, client base. We have some followers. We have people that are lifers, that they're not necessarily going anywhere. They're sticking on. And, so it's making sure that, that they keep moving. They're doing things healthy. We're getting creative. I mean, as as anyone knows, during a pandemic, you're at home. You can get stir crazy, whether you have work, stresses, and trying to adapt to that, or adapt to kids, or, just adapt to just being together and not, being able to leave the house or go anywhere. It brings its challenges. So working out, certainly, it's something that's great for the mind and body. So we had some fun themes, try to get through some of those times. But again, it's getting creative.
Did you use Charlotte one of your what would you call it? Like, demonstrations one day?
Yeah,
with her.
She's our true NSPT model. I mean, that's, but she wanted to be a part of it. She knew, knows how much time and hard work I put into building this, product, and how many people I do have, following along and our members, and, she wanted to be a part of it, and, super supportive. That's one of her best qualities, and couldn't ask for a better partner. So
there you go. And you guys have two. I know they're young. What are the exact ages?
So Brock is 2.5, and then Jackson turned 1 back in April. So
like the last 4 months haven't been tough enough. Throw into.
It's all good. Charlene's work has been really unaffected. Just it's more of adapting to online and Zoom. But, her schedule is really unaffected. So I ran a phenomenal daddy daycare during the day, and then, doing those workouts late at night, doing those videos for everybody. So, it was fun. And again, you gotta do what you gotta do. So.
You said that with such a smile. Are you actually thinking about a second business, or?
I know, seriously, side hustle. The new Manny.
That is funny. Was there a part of that that's, I know it's terrible. Nobody would ever wish a pandemic on, but was there part of it that was like, you know what, we're making it work. I'm here, and I get to kind of spend this time that I maybe wouldn't have got to as my babies grow up. That must be some bright side to it, right?
For sure. I mean, the true silver lining, the number one, silver lining in all this was more time with family. And, being a gym owner and performance coach, and, hours can get busy. And, I do baseball things. I do coaching high school baseball programs on the side, running a gym. So there's just a lot of different factors and things that add up, and time gets, sucked up that way. And still I get plenty of time with family for sure. But, to have more time with my kids and my boys, and to see them grow and change and be around with them every day, it was awesome, and you reevaluate work and life, and just, and it's just kind of a reboot, so, I'm looking forward to, kind of doing again, like a reboot with NSPT once we're full throttle here, and, start laying out these new guidelines and whatnot. But yeah, time with family is number one, and certainly got a lot of that, which is great.
Yeah, I noticed it even with my dogs. Every time we leave the house now, the dogs are like, whoa, what is going on here?
Right? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. you spend so much time around them, and you get used to things and get comfortable.
Absolutely. What's the, do you guys have any, is there any backdoor talks, whether it be with government officials or local officials that say, we're kind of here and this might be the date where we can open up this, or is there anything like that? Or is it kind of, I know what you know, and everybody's just kind of waiting?
Basically, in waiting for a full throttle, gym reopening.
Yeah.
We've actually started, organizing some youth sports things and just getting some kids organized for that, getting lined up. So when we can, start doing things with, very limited equipment, mobility, dynamic warm-up, speed, agility, things that would be done at like a baseball practice, for example, that are currently going on. So there are guidelines out there for indoor and outdoor youth sports. I kind of fall into that. So, I've been organizing some things there. But in terms of full throttle gym, it's basically just waiting for Governor Baker.
Gotcha. All right, let's talk about some of the fun stuff here. I am curious, when did you decide? I mean, it's a big project, though, obviously, starting your own gym. When did you decide, you know what, I'm going to follow this path and let's see if we can make it work? How did that happen?
So I knew when I was done playing professional baseball.
Let's stop right there.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah.
I was unfamiliar with this background. So what's
Sure.
the baseball background?
So after I went to Wheaton College, a smaller Division III school in Massachusetts, good baseball program, wonderful coach. Always made some noise every year, and went to the NCAA tournament every year, and College World Series as a senior, and I didn't end up getting. We had a phenomenal team, and big brotherhood to this day with a lot of those guys. But I did not end up getting drafted. I signed an independent league contract, played for the Nashua Pride. Actually, Butch Hobson's the manager, former
No kidding.
third baseman for the Red Sox, and
Former manager, right?
yeah, and former manager. So again, he's one of my favorite coaches of all time, managers of all time. But had a really good rookie season. Ended up signing with the Padres, San Diego Padres. Went to spring training with them. Played several other years of independent ball. Last of which was with the Wichita Wingnuts, a great organization.
And a great name.
And a great name, for sure. And whatnot. But I knew when baseball was over, I have a passion for sports, a passion for fitness, for strength and conditioning, for coaching. That's in my blood. So I knew that I wanted to give that a shot and help athletes and give them the best chance to succeed. So I'd say is that last year of pro ball, those long bus rides that you're on, there was like some serious programming going on for the business.
That's where I was going next, actually, because I'm a baseball guy. I know a couple guys who have made runs that people don't realize how much work it is to get to that level. I mean, I think they do realize, but just that grind of, taking the buses everywhere. And there's a million things that I know aren't the most glamorous in the world. You got to love the game to go through all that stuff. And obviously you did to play for that many ball clubs. What is that like, doing that, making that bus city to city, playing for these teams, meeting all these people? That's going to be the cool part. But
yeah, it was so fun. And again, like I mentioned, brotherhood with my college guys, but same with, different stops along the way in professional baseball, and friends to this day, and, some great managers and friends and people that you just stay in touch with. But yeah, again, seeing different parts of the country that you may not have, otherwise seen, going to Walmart's at like 3:30 a.m. in like North Dakota, like stuff that like you wouldn't necessarily do like on the ride back to Wichita.
Is that a big thing on the bus ride home, the 3:30 stop?
Like sometimes those stops where, the bus is getting gas and there's Walmart's nearby and they're open 24 hours or whatever. But anyway, it's just, yeah, I mean, long bus rides, it's a lot of fun, just the bonding with the guys and playing baseball, which I have a passion for. And it's just, it's hard to compare it to anything, but you just give it your best shot and have a blast. And, I had some opportunities, I didn't, reach the big leagues by a certain age. And I said, you know what, I'm moving on, and it's time to, start the next chapter. So.
And that in itself, I've talked with several people who have had and said that's a tough decision to make, because you always think you can still make that move too, but it's also balancing out what else do I want to do, and you almost have to play the math and say I need breaks this way, but you know what, this might be the better option. Those must be tough mind games to have those inner conversations with.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I was able to quote go out on top. I didn't have any major injuries, or I was still playing at a high level, and I just knew it was time, and and it felt like I gave the game my all, and I feel like I could still stay in it. I coach at St. John's Prep in Danvers. I'm the assistant coach and pitching coach there, so I'm still tied in. I run my own kind of baseball pitching development program. I have the gym. I'm very much helping these young athletes, and just things I've learned over the years, and obviously still educating myself with new things going on, and just helping out the best that I can, and living a little bit vicariously through them. So it's good.
Did you happen to play with Jason Klukas, by the way, at Wheaton?
So he came after me. Yeah. So he was playing the math game. I think he came in. I graduated. He might have been 1 or 2 years after that.
Okay, I knew him a little bit. I was just thinking of that. I thought it might have fallen around the same age group. So Wheaton College, small world.
He's a great guy. Yeah, I mean, certainly just with the alumni and everything, but he's a quality guy.
The big baseball program there at Wheaton. They got some. They've had some good teams over the years. But were you worried about the game at all with all these negotiations of starting a season? Because I'm a baseball guy. I was worried about the fate of Major League Baseball when they couldn't get this going here.
I know. It shows you how much of a business it really is. I mean, you have the players and the Players Association, and obviously the commissioner, and it's just in a pandemic to deal with, and health first, health conscious, kind of thing. But again, you're looking at a schedule. How can you make it work? There's so many details. I mean, talking about sleepless nights for those guys. I mean, just trying to, the body of people and all the staff members associated with, just think of one team, let alone 30, teams that you're trying to organize and figure it out for. But I'm glad they've come to an agreement. There's a new opening day, end of July. What is it, the 23rd or 24th?
I hope it all comes together. It feels like a long time away just in this environment, but
I know. Hopefully everyone can stay, healthy for the most part and get some baseball going, and it'll just be good to have some baseball on TV.
Absolutely. I miss it like crazy. All right. So that gets us to know the man a little bit, but little rapid fire, James. That's how we end the show. Okay.
All right. Awesome.
It's going to be quick answers, and it's going to be the first thing that comes to your mind. So I have no way to hold you to this, but those are the rules.
All right.
I think we'll start with a layup here, because I think I just got the answer, but favorite sport?
Baseball.
Oh, there you go. Favorite musician?
Ooh, favorite musician. Oh, man. I like everything. Gosh. Bruce Springsteen, Glory Days. That's my number one song. So I guess I got to go there.
Bruce is my guy too. It is not favorite song would not be Glory Days, but you had the baseball career, so we'll take that as an acceptable answer.
I got you.
Favorite quarantine activity?
Building forts with my kids.
There you go. That's a good answer. I like that one. I don't think we've had that one. Favorite movie?
Field of Dreams.
Oh, very good. Very nice choice. Favorite comedian?
Favorite comedian. Probably Jerry Seinfeld. Watched a couple of those over the pandemic. Some of his new stuff. It was good.
I like that too. That was nice of him to release that during the pandemic. I watched the same thing. Did you see the I always get the title wrong because it's a ridiculously hard title, but the Getting Coffee in Cars with Comedians thing?
Yes. So I've heard all about that and seen a few of them. Yeah. I mean, I appreciate good comedy for sure. So I like a lot of different ones. It's hard to pick.
All right, very good. I do want to end with this one on a serious topic though, because I know this is we're not out of this thing yet. I know you're probably feeling like you're getting close to there, but I know you can't wait to be fully open. I'm just wondering what that moment was like there when you saw this happening. I've talked to a lot of local musicians, and they're like, it felt like the world just stopped on them. And I can imagine it was probably a similar feeling for you too.
Yeah, it was. And again, it's you just want to do what's right. You don't want to necessarily, you don't want to cut corners. You just want to listen. And the world has never been through, anything really like this. I mean, in our generation, and you just have to listen to officials and medical folks, and and play by the rules, and hope that everything goes well, and just trust in other people to do the right thing as well. And I'm a big Costco guy, and like I go to Costco, and sometimes you see people with their gloves on and their mask, and sometimes you see people like bumping shoulders with no gloves, no mask, like bumping to get the last hamburger. It's like you just hope that people play by the rules. You hope that everyone's gonna be fine, and we'll pull out of this thing. So, but yeah, health is number one, and being in the fitness, strength and conditioning industry, the last thing that you want to do is create more harm. So, but yeah, hopefully we'll be all right.
That's well said. Yeah, fantastic head of hair there. Is that the quarantine hair, or did you get a haircut?
No, I usually keep it a little longer, but I'm probably overdue.
Oh, you're a little overdue. Okay.
Yeah, a little overdue.
This is the longest I've ever. I am doing crazy things with my hair. It's actually a topic at the beginning of the show every time now to see what I'm doing.
Looks good, man. I like it.
It's a little. I'm actually in a ponytail at the moment, which my wife did, which is something I've never done. It's ridiculously long, but I think we're gonna hold out for the whole pandemic. It's part of the shtick, I think.
I gotcha. Yeah, absolutely. We just my little guy just got a haircut. He had some pretty awesome hair. I guess awesome is a different word. I don't know if my wife would have said that, but we got that snipped down yesterday. So he's got the Julian Edelman look going on right now. He's looking good.
Did you guys cut it, or did you go professionally?
No, it was a professional place. It was like a youth barber. So
if Charlene did it, I think I would have asked for some proof here to bring the.
Oh yeah, she's not in on that.
Very good. Well, James Baker, man, we wish you all the best. We hope you get back fully running and operational soon. And thanks for taking a few minutes with us here, live from my kitchen.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks a lot. I appreciate you thinking of me, and best of luck to you guys and your family and everybody out there.
Thanks, James. Right back at you.
All right, take care.
All right, James Baker there, the founder of North Shore Performance Training. James was coming to us there from Boxford. He's a North Shore guy like me. That is my first time meeting him, and what a good guy, as you can tell. So let's hope we can beat this virus, get back to normal like every business, and the gyms can get going again. And wouldn't that just be great? All right. So that ends our week here. Hope you all enjoyed it. It's been a really fun few shows to have here around the holidays. And we'll keep it going next week, all right? My name is Drew Moholland. Big thanks to James Baker. Hello to Charlene Baker, who I went to school with and kind of set this whole thing up. I appreciate that. And a big thanks to Sarah Conway, my wife. And a thanks to the dogs for staying silent. I don't think they've interrupted a show. The dogs have not interrupted a show in like our last 4 or 5, maybe 6. So good job, dogs. All right? Stay safe, everybody. We'll see you soon. All right? Bye-bye now. Drew Moholland, live from Drew's house and my kitchen.